Van Lathan explains why he insulted Emmanuel Acho. Obviously, I know these two characters. Van Lathan has been getting talked about a lot on this show because he is co-host with Rachel Lindsay. And Rachel Lindsay is forever on a list that I have of people that need to be corrected because of their closed-mindedness. Yeah, so we're going to open up her mind.
Emmanuel Acho
We're going to open up her mind. So, but I still got love for Van, even though he could have checked her or he could have corrected his co-host, because I know Van knows what we all have saw and witnessed. We all know that Van was in the hard place. He was stuck between a rock and a hard place. Correct my co-host or and speak the real, or keep it cool enough for my co-host we can get past this, never talk about this again. All right, that's how the game goes. I've been there before, trust me. All right, let's get into it, though. What was your issue with Acho? I know y'all had a problem, was it a year ago, a few months ago? And now you're bringing this up again this week because you're on their show. Now, this show is, I've seen Acho on this show before, but I don't know if he's a host. But it's Akbar and it's Godfrey, both Nigerian, correct? Okay, so they are the perfect people to have this conversation with. Because the real issue was, I think Van was sitting there like, look, you see a flag is planted here by a foundational Black American, as they call him, right? And then you see Acho, who is not. He's African-American first generation. So let's talk through that.
On higher learning, and we were talking to Emmanuel Acho, and I insulted Emmanuel Acho on the podcast. Okay, I did. And I shouldn't have done that.
No. I appreciate the respect and the transparency that you have.
Keep going.
No, I've told him.
Yeah.
Maybe I have, maybe I haven't. But I've definitely said it on the.
Maybe you. Apology shouldn't be a maybe. A lot of things can be maybes. That's called nuance. I don't know. Maybe I like that. Maybe I don't. An apology should be a yes or no. Did you apologize or not? He over here said, I don't know if I did. Maybe I did. Let's go.
Podcast. I shouldn't have insulted him, right? What happened was Emmanuel Acho came on and he was talking, and he was talking about the fact that he can talk to white people in a way because he doesn't have the sting of generational trauma. And he can talk to Black people because he's Black and all of that stuff like that.
Okay, I want to correct that. And I'm not correcting him. I'm just thinking it's a better way for us to understand what that is. I don't think Acho is talking to white people and they look at Acho like, oh, you're a better representative to talk to me. I think what Acho meant by that is they're going to receive it different from me because, one, I don't have the trauma. So he didn't finish the sentence. So they don't think I'm biased. One of the worst parts of Black and white relationships and relations in conversation, if you're really being real with someone white, is how much guilt do you think they have or how much guilt do they hold for what has happened in the past in our country between Black and white people? And how much anger or how upset are you at that if you're a Black person? Because some Black people walk up to white people with a zero bank account, zero balance. Ain't no issue with you. You right? I don't hold you accountable for the sins of your father. Right? I don't. Right? That's how I am. I'm like, dog, the white person I meet today, I'm not looking at him like, man, yo, great. Like, I'm not doing that. But some people do. And then the flip of it is also some white people walk up to you and, oh, man, it's so crazy when white people walk up to me sometimes and they're like you can just tell right now they're about to sell you some cookies. Like, we're so sorry what we've done to you and you're in the predicament you're in. And I'll be like, you mean better off than you? What you mean? Like, so that's a whole conversation in itself. But I remember I was telling y'all, I got to tell you the story about how I grew up in the race relations, and that's why I'm a little different than the average bear in terms of how I look at race. Continue.
So what I said, I completely meant. Okay, I said that he was an emotional butler for white people.
Wow.
And serving them up very milquetoast takes to make them feel good about themselves and having these conversations. Now, what I said,
that's a line.
I meant, but that doesn't mean that I should have said it, even in the way that it was. Even if I meant it, I shouldn't have said it in that way, because what it does now is it breaks the opportunity for me to talk to him and let him know where I'm coming from.
Yep.
What he said was profoundly insulting, and it hit for me.
Why?
Because as a black man, as a black American, the fact that somebody else needs to speak for my safety and my advancement because I'm too belligerent is what white people say.
Okay. But, okay, let me ask this. It seems like, so then instead you speak for the other black people, right? None of us should speak for all of us. That's just the rule. And you don't like when Acho speaks for you because you're like, he's not a black American like you are. All right. But since you are a black American, don't mean you should speak for all black Americans. Now, I understand why you're like, why not? Because I am one. I'm saying because we disagree. We differ. I'm unique. I can speak for myself. Just like you want Acho to let you speak for yourself. Now, I understand you're saying, but he's not even you. But does it take full experience to talk about the experience or to talk about that slight? Does it take full existence to talk about that experience? Does it? Because if that's the case, then you should never talk about white people because you ain't got that existence. So this is why it gets into a logical pretzel all the time. But let's listen to it because it's kind of fun to see how it goes. Actually, kind of tasty.
White people look at black people, black Americans, as people who are not needing equality, but people who are needing stewardship. John Wayne, out of his mouth, said that he believes in white supremacy until black people are evolved enough to take care of themselves. If I'm not going to take it from John Wayne, I'm not going to take it from Emmanuel Acho. Okay?
I respect it. Hey, the only thing I will not even push back is we got to stay current with these things too. Right? I understand that wasn't that long ago. What we're going to say, John Wayne said that, what was it, 50, 60 years ago, maybe? I don't know. But the point is, one thing I know that is a problem with any relationship to get to a better place is if you stay in the rearview mirror. Every therapist in the world will tell you, if you guys want to stop arguing, the first rule is stop bringing up the past. Now, we can't do that in world history, U.S. history. We're like, we're going to bring up the past. So that's in part why our relationship or relations is not ideal. It's because we always constantly will bring up the past. And how we justify it? If you don't know your past, you don't know your future. You don't know where you've been, you don't know where you're going, all that kind of stuff. Once again, how does that pretzel taste?
So, and I don't know even that he had investigated that statement enough to know the way that it came out. That's why a good communicator and someone who was not in their reactive mind would have done what I just did now. All right. But I didn't do that. What I did was sometimes what we do when we're in front of these cameras and stuff like that, I try to serve them.
You put on.
Right. Yep. Not that I didn't mean it. Not that that's not what I wouldn't have said if we were on the street somewhere, but it wasn't the best way to build something right there.
Yeah. Did you ever reach out to him privately?
We talked after that.
You did?
We did, which was why I was sort of surprised that he came on. It's not like that's been the end of my criticism of Emmanuel Acho. And we don't look at things the same way. I watched a bunch of the stuff that he was doing, and I thought that it was whack, but he was doing what he thought that he needed to do. Yeah. A better version of myself is the version that can say, how do we have a conversation about this that is both about two different people who want to help, right? Who have the same goal, but might have different programming about how to get there.
Yeah.
So, but
I love that. And I wish we can really keep discipline in that. No matter who you are, allow somebody the space to be themselves. Get off of it. That's one thing I don't like about group thinking. It's a ton of stuff I hate about it, but one of them is how they be one thing to have the group. This is what happens in life. You got a group and y'all got a gang of members. Cool. I don't want to be a part of that group. Instead of them being happy, all these people with them, you know what they do? They bother your ass because why aren't you with us? Why aren't you down with us? Like the group becomes the most insecure thing. And that lone ranger, that lone wolf is sitting there like, if you don't leave me alone, dog, I don't give a fuck about what y'all talking about. And even if I do, I don't need to do all that to do it. Am I right? Like every time I see a group and then I decide I don't want to do that group, right? It could be fraternities. It could be anything. Every time that you get initiated or somebody's coming at you, gangs, They wanted me to Crip. Why? Because I grew up in Crip hoods. Nah, I ain't doing that. Oh, okay. Well, I want you to bang blood. Why? Because you always over there in Inglewood playing ball. You always in Inglewood. What's up? Nah, not doing it. Okay. Now you from the set. Which one? If you don't bang Crip, you don't bang blood, you in your own gang, which is no gang, which means you're going to get it from both sides. I was like, man, just let me be, dog. I'm not a part of the group. Why y'all so damn insecure? It's a billion of y'all. It's just me. Leave me alone. It's a weird dynamic.
It's not what I did. Now, I like to think that I do that in a different way. I like to think that the most important thing to talk about now is not to insult him or to get off on him or him to do it to me, but to have a conversation about why that framing is wrong-headed and what that is really based in. And either we agree or we don't agree, but we both leave with a mutual respect for where we're coming from. Because now I'm not in it to win arguments anymore.
Right.
People are dying. And we still don't have consensus on what the problem is. So if
I think that's the problem. We wait for consensus. People have always been dying too. This is nothing new. Okay, since we now can see it on the gram or Twitter, X doesn't mean it ain't been happening, right? People have been, trust me, dying over the cause. More importantly, I think that's one of the biggest problems, if not the biggest. Stop waiting for consensus. Everybody wants to move together. The monolith. We got to be on the same page. That's why you be seeing people like Stephen A. Smith getting clowned, getting thumbs down because he's not on the liberal page. He's not on the Democratic page. That's a political conversation. We'll have it later. But whatever it means, it could be cultural, it could be social. You just got to be with the group. What we just show you, the group is always looking at the individual. The individual is like, leave me alone, group. We need to learn more from the individuals, the ones who have made it, instead of looking at them like, oh, they detached, they sold out. Oh, you need to go back to the hood. That sucker's a billionaire. Let that man live where he want to live. But stop giving him negative connotations so we can't learn from him. That's what happens. Somebody make it and then all of a sudden, like Jay-Z going through it right now, everybody clowning him, and Drake was last year. And all these super uber successful dudes who always got to stay in the headlines for reasons attacking their character, right? Oh, he ain't this, he ain't that. Won't you just, some of that, calm down? I know it's a rap beef, so have fun with it. I love it too. But learn, like, dog. Oh, why he team up with the NFL? Won't you learn why he teamed up with the NFL? He's like, let me control some of this. Let me have some power in this instead of just complaining and taking a knee and say, it's on them. Like, why be so combative with it? Why not be actually on the same page with them? Don't compete. Actually, we gonna co together. Do this. Coexist. I don't know. That's how I look at people. I don't look at people like, what's wrong with them? I look at them like, what's right with them? Even a bum, even a wino. I'm like, what does he have that's keeping him alive in spirit? Something in there is a jewel. Something in there is a gem. But that just may be my outlook.
Can leave the earth having illuminated the problem.
Right.
The problem worldwide, on a macro level, on a micro level, in what we're talking about right now.
Yeah.
If I can help illuminate the problem, I'll feel better about where things are.
Yeah, you know, I've spent a lot of time with Acho, and I know his heart. And I'll say that I think in the spirit of Emmanuel Acho, this is my opinion, not you know, what Acho said.
Not speaking for him,
not speaking for him, is that, you know, there's this idea of like, how do you move the conversation forward, right? And I think the most dangerous thing in the Black community, and I'm gonna just speak up and keep it a buck.
Go for it.
I am a forward thinker, and I might get trashed and canceled for it. I'm like, I want all of us to win, but it's very dangerous to say we gotta win and move forward because it can sound dismissive if you're not ruminating in the past. And even saying, oh my gosh, I can't believe you said ruminating. But if it's like, hey, we got it. We know the history.
But do we got it?
Oh, no, yeah, we do. No, we do.
Everybody
not everybody do, but guess what? There's nothing that says you can't educate and continue to educate. I've learned so much sitting next to you. And we keep moving forward.
Well, yo, of course,
but to stop the entire train and say, this is the only way to be Black in America. This is the only way to.
The only way to. No, I'm just trying.
Yeah. Say more. What you mean?
Yeah.
So the only way is to say, hey, if we look this way, and we will get on, because I think the fear is that to move the conversation, not the conversation, the progress. Like, where do we go? Like sometimes you and I, we've gotten into the conversation. I'm like, all right, but what's the solution? It comes from a solution spirit. Like if the
Well, I think he's trying to say, and let him finish, is how do you represent, which means in the present, represent the present. How do you be who you are now, but also pay respects to what we've been through? And a lot of times people get split tongued. They get split in their actions. They get split how they move. Because it's like the more successful you are, the less it seems you're connected to where you're from or where people's struggles are. It's called survivor's remorse, basically. You know what it is. So that's why LeBron had a show called Survivor's Remorse. Amazing show. If you ever want to just binge watch a good show and you missed it, Survivor's Remorse by LeBron James. Insane. But the point is, I had to deal with that. And some people can't, because some people will keep the guilt forever. I had to cut the guilt, not the ties from the neighborhood and all that stuff. Not my family who still is spread out through wherever the hood of LA. None of that. I had to cut out when I wanted to do me and people wanted to throw, oh, you acting different. You changed. You don't come around as much. Like, dog, are you serious? I don't live here. I've grown up. I'm an adult. I have my own kids. Like, I had to cut the guilt. Because if not, you're gonna be having one foot on the gas and one foot on the brake. Because you don't want to go nowhere because you want to show you down, but at the same time, you really want to go somewhere. When you were down, you wasn't trying to be there. It's crazy, right? Growing up in the hood is as great as you become, no matter where you are from and where you are. If you're going to be great, you're going to be great, no matter where you're from. But the hood will also throw on you that guilt. That's why so many successful people want to be down still. That's why Stephen A. Smith gets clowned, because he want to show he's still down. Instead of just be black and be up, you got to be down. So everybody be doing that for the black card. It's crazy.
Solution spirit, and it's not to ignore the past, because the past was evil, it was dark, it was hurtful, it set us back. And it's still happening.
People were just been hung a couple days ago. That's what I'm saying.
I understand. I understand
the past is still happening.
100%. 100%.
It's still happening.
100%. And so, because even that, it's scary. It's scary, even because I know I'm putting myself out there to be shot right now. Because if I say, hey, like, how do we get the solution to continue to move us forward while we are still wrestling with the past? We're still wrestling with the future, right? And what is to come in front of us? How do we have that solution forward conversation?
So there's a couple of things. Number one, the one thing that's been the most interesting to me that people, for some reason, refuse to understand is everybody has different jobs. It might be your job to be the forward thinker.
Right.
It might be your job to be the person that goes, I don't care what happened before. I'm going to go out there and I'm going to figure out. It starts now in 2026.
Right on.
And black boy by black boy, black girl by black girl, man by man, woman by woman, I am going to go out and make change, and everything that happened before.
That person that you just described doesn't have a chance.
Okay, but
okay, this is amazing right here. So there was a panel that I did with Gilbert Arenas. It was a panel with him. Golly, so it's a basketball player that's an activist. I'm so sorry, I forget your name. And Dr. Harry Edwards, right? The guy who counseled Colin Kaepernick to start the kneeling and the movement. Okay. And the basketball player, God, I can't remember his name, kept telling me, Marcellus, you need to do more. You need to do more. You need to do more. And I was like, okay, what does that look like to you? And more importantly, how do you know what I've done? Right? Because I'm like, dog, you coming at me like I'm not charitable. Like, I got my own nonprofit. You coming to me like I ain't won Walter Payton Man of the Year 1, 2, 3 times. Like it was sounding like, do you know who you talking to? Or are you just talking to somebody who doesn't agree with you? So he kept trying to read me my rights, and it was in a respectful way. I'm not trying to diss him. But I was just like, what? What do you mean? Like, what do you want me to do? Camp out on the streets to show you that I'm down? So I was like, all right. I said, my success is not enough of a notch. Like, that's not showing you that I'm doing something. Like, you know, the little engine from Compton that could, you know what I mean? So anyway, we going back and forth. And then Dr. Harry Edwards told me, this was more candid, more private. He was like, he said, don't ever forget, we all got a role to play. He said, just don't forget it. He said, I know you know that because you played football. He said, don't forget, the guard ain't supposed to catch the pass. The quarterback ain't supposed to be out there blocking. So he's like, you ain't supposed to be no activist. And I was like, I already knew that, but it was good to hear you say that because it was good to know that you knew where I was coming from. Like, everybody ain't got to protest. And if you don't protest, don't mean you ain't down for it. You just ain't the one to protest, right? The guard is not there to catch the pass. He's supposed to be blocking for whoever catches it. You know how the game go.
But listen, it might be your job to do that.
Yeah.
Let me tell you how I look at it.
Yeah.
Is there is no past.
It was Eton Thomas. Thank you. Mars Madness. Thank you. Eton Thomas. Yeah, respect to him, big dog.
What do you mean?
There are cycles. If you go back to 1961, 62, 63, and you listen to some of our greats talk, they talk about economic opportunity.
Yep.
They talk about police brutality.
Yep.
They talk about the vote.
Yep.
They talk about talk about equality.
Right. The cycles, I get it.
We are talking about the same thing.
Yeah.
And the reason why we are still talking about them is because that past that we are talking about cannot be properly adjudicated until it is accepted as reality. See, here's the deal.
Listen to what you just said there. The reason why it keeps coming back around is because the world is round. One, everything's cyclical. Two, which is the same thing as saying what it says in the Bible and the holy books, which is there is nothing new under the sun. So your problem and your great granddaddy problem may look different, may package itself differently, but the core issues, the core illness will always be the same with different symptoms. That's life. And if you read or if you have studied, if you research, you have been able to travel to those places without that experience. That's why a wise man learns from others and a fool learns from his own mistakes. That's the beauty of it. So then this is the problem what people do when they travel mentally to another place. They actually want to make this place that experience so they could really feel a part of it, immerse myself in it, really show that I feel it. You ain't supposed to do that. You already know it's going to come back to you. Now be better prepared because you know how they dealt with it. That could be something that gives you ammunition in the present, or it makes you say, I shouldn't do that because they did that and it didn't work, whatever it may be. But what I get sick and tired of is what Akbar is trying to say, which is, I can't go forward because somebody always tell me you leaving me behind. Dog, you ever seen a bus when it pulls up? The bus pulls up, the RTD, the rough, tough, and dirty. RTD, get on. Hit that button, that bus driver ain't looking no more. He don't care. And you running up to the bus. Oh, you beating on the windows trying to get to the front window. Nah. Every now and then they would stop, but nah. We got to go, dog. If we did that every bus stop, you know how many more minutes it's going to add? How much later we going to be? You got to be here when it's time. If not, I got to go. There will be more buses. You can walk. You can get a ride. There's so many ways to get somewhere, dog. Stop acting like I'm the only way you can get there. I think that's what he's trying to say.
Everything that America has asked Black people to do, to be equal participants in America, Black people have done it.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
So America said, go out and buy land. We went out and bought land. We own more land in 1905 than we own now. Right now, the top 5 landowners in this country own more land than all of Black Americans combined. You know, you got the so.
And that's cultural in part. And that's what Acho, I know Acho. Obviously, I know everybody here except Godfrey. I don't really know him, but I've seen him. Respect. The culture, the cultural differences of what you're supposed to do. And look, I'm guilty of it as well. What we do when we get paid? Mama house, gator boots, mama house, get the chain on, right? Other cultures don't think like that. Other cultures don't think like that. Just know that. Stop letting the skin color fool you. They are told and taught and programmed to do different.
Go out and establish economic hubs and centers. Forget about everybody else.
We did that.
Like, go out and establish it for yourself. We did it.
Yeah, Tulsa.
They
came and
firebombed it from the sky.
Tulsa.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not the Tulsa, the
Philly,
entire
even
Red Summer.
Philly.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
They said every time we've done it, white America said no.
Yep.
And when they couldn't get Tulsa with firebombs from the sky, they put a freeway through it with urban renewal.
That's right.
Everything that we've done, educate yourself.
Right.
Okay, so we go out, we establish the HBCUs, they defund the schools. There's a glitch in the matrix.
Word.
And so the reason
I'm here to say that glitch in the matrix is not exclusive to black people. I am not here to excuse, I'm not here to soften any of the things that have occurred. But if you look at other ethnicities, nationalities that have survived, have thrived, they have had to deal with the glitch in the matrix as well. So like in sports, the same thing happens. What's the difference between the champion and the contender? Is that the champion got up one more time than the contender did. You can tell me why you knocked me down 20 times. I'm saying if you want to be champion, you're going to get up 20 times. You weren't about the 20 times. I'm saying, do you want to win or not? There are people, there are black people that are born on home plate, not even third base, home plate. I know them. I coach these kids. I coach millionaire kids that are black, a bunch of them. Because they mama and daddy got a name, they mama and daddy played. Look where my son practices, with LeBron. What are you doing here? What are we doing here? But then I gotta go spend the night in the hood to show I'm still connected. I'm down. Are you silly or what? Grow up. Okay, so they're going to. Some people have it smooth selling, and I'm going to try my damnness to example more of the smooth selling black people, because I'm getting sick and tired of only hearing about the war torn ones. And why? Because I've been both. Boy, my story of Compton to Columbia is more glorified than me NFL to media and stuff. Because it's like, watch ESPN on Saturday morning. It's always some kid, make a wish. It's always some black person with a single mama. It's okay, I know that story. I like to hear the story of, my dad is, he's a hedge fund. He has a hedge fund. Yeah, we grew up wealthy. I know this dynamic because I went to Columbia, and when I went to Columbia, no one gave a damn about anything about me except, you always got shot at. You had to bang. You had to go around them gangsters. Tell me them stories. Meanwhile, you rich as hell, bro. I always tell the story. Meanwhile, I saw you get out of a helicopter, and you told me your daddy gives you $25,000 a month. Can we talk about that a little more than my story? No. We want to hear your story. I want to hear yours. And then there are black people that live like that. Martha's Vineyard in August. You know how it goes. In the summer of Martha's Vineyard, all them black people up there, all that money. Rich Paul. Magic Johnson is on his yacht jogging. He on the treadmill in the back of the yacht. I want them stories, okay? I don't need to hear all the war-torn stories. And that's what it is. Everyone has a different role. It's just we're not letting the successful black person become the quarterback. He is the guard or the center. We're not giving him enough shine.
why we keep harping on history is because history is now.
There you go.
History is a man getting a knee on his neck for 8 minutes and 41 seconds a couple of years ago, and everybody else going out and telling us that that's not happening, right?
Okay, so it's not Acho owner, just them. Okay, respect. Oh, that's good. 154 Africa. All right. Dope. All right, so Acho's not on there. He ain't doing that show, but I like this. They're doing well, too. See that loyalty right there? They're like, we different. Respect. Okay. Let me button this up. One, as y'all know, man, I am about unity. I'm about individuals all plugging in and let's add it up. I'm not scared. I'm strong enough to let that be what it is. The answer is the answer. I don't need this collectivism. I don't need this group thought and group think to say, this is what we're going to do. Because somebody didn't vote. It's like the Bus family. 5 brothers and sisters said, we're selling the team. And then Jeannie like sitting there like, I ain't even going to vote. And no, y'all not. Right? I mean, what issue are we all going to sit there and say, yeah, let's go. Like, stop watching movies. This ain't Remember the Titans. That ain't how the world works. The world comes like this, smack. The world wakes up every day and it's like, oh, have you kept up? Oh, you haven't kept up? You better catch up. Oh, you don't want to catch up? All right, we're going to pass you again. Oh, don't think we on the same lap. You on lap 1. I'm on lap 3, bruh. Oh, you're going to complain because you see me? But really, if you were looking, I'm not where you are. Oh, you still going to complain? Oh, you want to look backwards? Oh, you want to talk about history? Well, keep going. Guess what I'm never going to do? Stop spinning. So you better start winning. I know in sports, when you look backwards in track, as soon as you look backwards like that, you got slower. Now, that doesn't mean you can't look. You know, our cats got smarter. They start looking at the Jumbotron. Like, I'm looking up in front of me. Point being, how many times you going to take them peaks? You know what it is, because history repeats itself. Read. Take your mind there. Keep your experience here. Do different. Do better. That's all I got to say. Stop preaching, Wiley. Stop preaching.